Good morning, good morning, good morning. No one is here yet. Our Bible reading this morning is a continuation of our readings all along. We've been reading on our live stream from the book of Genesis. And today we are continuing with Genesis chapter 28. I'll read from verse 1 from the Message translation. So Isaac called in Jacob and blessed him. Then he ordered him, "Don't take a Canaanite wife. Look at once. Go to Padan Aram, to the family of your mother's father, Bethuel. Get a wife for yourself from the daughter of your uncle Laban, and may the strong God bless you and give you many, many children, a congregation of peoples, and pass on the blessing of Abraham to you and your descendants, so that you get this land in which you live. This land God gave Abraham." So Isaac sent Jacob off. He went to Padan Aram, to Laban, the son of Bethuel the Aramean, the brother of Rebekah, who was the mother of Jacob and Esau. Esau learned that Isaac had blessed Jacob and sent him to Padan Aram to get a wife there. And while blessing him, commanded, "Don't marry a Canaanite woman." And that Jacob had obeyed his parents and gone to Padan Aram. When Esau realized how deeply his father Isaac disliked the Canaanite women, he went to Ishmael and married Mahalat, the sister of Nebaioth and daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son. This was in addition to the wives he already had. Jacob left Beersheba and went to Haran. He came to a certain place and camped for the night, since the sun had set. He took one of the stones there, set it under his head, and lay down to sleep. And he dreamed. A stairway was set on the ground, and it reached all the way to the sky. Angels of God were going up and down on it. Then God was right before him, saying, "I am God, the God of Abraham, your father, and the God of Isaac. I'm giving the ground on which you are sleeping to you and to your descendants. Your descendants will be as the dust of the earth. They will stretch from west to east, from north to south. All the families of the earth will bless themselves in you and your descendants. Yes, I'll stay with you. I'll protect you wherever you go, and I will bring you back to this very ground. I will stick with you until I've done everything I promised you. Jacob woke up from his sleep. He said, God is in this place truly, and I didn't even know it. He was terrified. He whispered in awe, incredible, wonderful, holy, incredible, wonderful, holy. This is God's house. This is the gate of heaven. Jacob was up first thing in the morning. He took the stone he had used for his pillow and stood it up as a memorial pillar and poured oil on it. He christened the place Bethel, God's house. The name of the town had been Luz until then. Jacob vowed a vow. If God stands by me and protects me on this journey on which I'm setting out, keeps me in food and clothing, and brings me back in one piece to my father's house, this God will be my God. This stone that I have set up as a memorial pillar will mark this as a place where God lives. And everything you give me, I'll return a thanks to you. Wow. So the next chapter, 29. Jacob set out on his way to the people of the east. He noticed a well out in an open field with 3 flocks of sheep bedded down around it. This was a common well from which the flocks were watered. The stone over the mouth of the well was huge. When all the flocks were gathered, the shepherds would roll the stone from the well and water the sheep. Then they would return the stone covering the well. Jacob said, "Hello, friends. Where are you from?" They said, "We are from Haran." Jacob asked, "Do you know Laban, son of Nahor?" "We do." "Are things well with him?" Jacob continued, "Very well," they said. "And here is his daughter Rachel coming with the flock." Jacob said, "There is a lot of daylight still left. It isn't time to round up the sheep yet, is it? So why not water the flocks and go back grazing?" "We can't," they said, "not until all the shepherds get here. It takes all of us to roll the stone from the well. Not until then can we water the flocks." While Jacob was in conversation with them, Rachel came up with her father's sheep. She was the shepherd. The moment Jacob spotted her, the moment Jacob spotted Rachel, daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, saw her arriving with her uncle Laban's sheep, he went and single-handedly rolled the stone from the mouth of the well and watered the sheep of his uncle Laban. Then he kissed Rachel and broke into tears. He told Rachel that he was related to her father and that he was Rebekah's son. She ran and told her father. When Laban heard the news, Jacob, his sister's son, he ran out to meet him, embraced and kissed him, and brought him home. Jacob, Jacob told Laban the story of everything that had happened. Laban said, "Your family, my flesh and blood." When Jacob had been with him for a month, Laban said, "Just because you are my nephew, you shouldn't work for me for nothing. Tell me what you want to be paid. What's a fair wage?" Now, Laban had 2 daughters. Leah was the older and Rachel the younger. Leah had nice eyes, but Rachel was stunningly beautiful. And it was Rachel that Jacob loved. So Jacob answered, I will work for you 7 years for your younger daughter Rachel. It is far better, said Laban, that I give her to you than marrying her to some outsider. Yes, stay here with me. So Jacob worked 7 years for Rachel, but it only seemed like a few days. He loved her so much. Then Jacob said to Laban, give me my wife. I've completed what we agreed I'd do. I'm ready to consummate my marriage. Laban invited everyone around and threw a big feast. At evening, though, he got his daughter Leah and brought her to the marriage bed, and Jacob slept with her. Laban gave his maid Zilpah to his daughter Leah as a maid. Morning came, there was Leah in the marriage bed. Jacob confronted Laban, what have you done to me? Didn't I work all this time for the hand of Rachel? Why did you cheat me? We don't do it that way in our country, said Laban. We don't marry off the younger daughter before the older. Enjoy your week of honeymoon, and then we'll give you the other one also. But it will cost you another 7 years of work. Jacob agreed. When he completed the honeymoon week, Laban gave him his daughter Rachel to be his wife. Laban gave his maid Bilhah to his daughter Rachel as her maid. Jacob then slept with her, and he loved Rachel more than Leah. He worked for Laban another 7 years. When God realized that Leah was unloved, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. Leah became pregnant and had a son. She named him Reuben. Look, it's a boy. This is a sign, she said, that God has seen my misery, and a sign that now my husband will love me. She became pregnant again and had another son. God heard, she said, that I was unloved, and so he gave me this son also. She named this one Simeon. God heard. She became pregnant yet again, another son. She said, now maybe my husband will connect with me. I've given him 3 sons. That's why she named him Levi, connects. She became pregnant a final time and had a 4th son. She said, this time I will praise God. So she named him Judah, praise God. Then she stopped having children. The next chapter, that's 30. When Rachel realized that she wasn't having any children for Jacob, she became jealous of her sister. She told Jacob, give me sons or I will die. Jacob got angry with Rachel. Jacob got angry with Rachel and said, am I God? Am I the one who refused you babies? Rachel said, here's my maid Bilhah, sleep with her. Let her substitute for me so I can have a child through her and build a family. So she gave him her maid, Bilhah, for a wife, and Jacob slept with her. Bilhah became pregnant and gave Jacob a son. Rachel said, God took my side and vindicated me. He listened to me and gave me a son. She named him Dan, meaning vindication. Rachel's maid Bilhah became pregnant again and gave Jacob a 2nd son. Rachel said, I've been in an all-out fight with my sister and I've won. So she named him Naphtali, meaning fight. When Leah saw that she wasn't having any more children, she gave her maid Zilpah to Jacob for a wife. Zilpah had a son for Jacob. Leah said, How fortunate, and she named him Gad, meaning lucky. When Leah's maid Zilpah had a second son for Jacob, Leah said, "A happy day. The women will congratulate me in my happiness." So she named him Asher, meaning happy. So one day during the wheat harvest, Reuben found some mandrakes in the field and brought them home to his mother Leah. Rachel asked Leah, "Could I please have some of your son's mandrakes?" Leah said, "Wasn't it enough that you got my husband away from me, and now you also want my son's mandrakes?" Rachel said, "All right, I'll let him sleep with you tonight in exchange for your son's love apples." When Jacob came home that evening from the fields, Leah was there to meet him. "Sleep with me tonight. I've bartered my son's mandrakes for a night with you." So he slept with her that night. God listened to Leah, and she became pregnant and gave Jacob a fifth son. She said, "God rewarded me for giving my mate to my husband." She named him Issachar, meaning battered. Leah became pregnant yet again and gave Jacob a sixth son, saying, "God has given me a great gift. This time my husband will honor me with gifts." I've given him 6 sons. She named him Zebulun, meaning honor. Last of all, she had a daughter and named her Dinah. And then God remembered Rachel. God listened to her and opened her womb. She became pregnant and had a son. She said, "God has taken away my humiliation." She named him Joseph, meaning add, praying, "May God add yet another son to me." After Rachel had Joseph, Jacob spoke to Laban, "Let me go back home. Give me my wives and children for whom I've served you. You know how hard I've worked for you." Laban said, "If you please, I have learned through divine inquiry that God has blessed me because of you." He went on, "So name your wages, I'll pay you." Jacob replied, "You know well what my work has meant to you and how your livestock has flourished under my care. The little you had when I arrived has increased greatly. Everything I did resulted in blessings for you. Isn't it about time that I do something for my own family? So what should I pay you?" Jacob said, "You don't have to pay me a thing. But how about this? I will go back to pasture and care for your flocks. Go through your entire flock today and take out every speckled or spotted sheep, every dark-colored lamb, every spotted or speckled goat. They will be my wages. That way you can check on my honesty when you assess my wages. If you find any goat that's not black, you will know that I stole it." "Fair enough," said Laban. "It's a deal." But that very day, Laban removed all the mottled and spotted billy goats and all the speckled and spotted nanny goats, every animal that had even a touch of white on it, plus all the black sheep, and placed them under the care of his sons. Then he put a 3-day journey between himself and Jacob. Meanwhile, Jacob went on tending what was left of Laban's flock. But Jacob got fresh branches from poplar, almond, and plane trees and peeled the bark, leaving white stripes on them. He stuck the peeled branches in front of the watering troughs where the flocks came to drink. When the flocks were in heat, they came to drink and mated in front of the streaked branches. Then they gave birth to young that were streaked or spotted. Okay. Chapter. Jacob learned that Laban's sons were talking behind his back. Jacob has used our father's wealth to make himself rich at our father's expense. At the same time, Jacob noticed that Laban had changed towards him. He wasn't treating him the same. That's when God said to Jacob, "Go back home where you were born. I'll go with you." So Jacob sent word for Rachel and Leah to meet him out in the field where his flocks were. He said, "I notice your father has changed towards me. He doesn't treat me the same as before. But the God of my father hasn't changed. He's still with me. You know how hard I've worked for your father? Still, your father has cheated me over and over, changing my wages time and again, but God never let him really hurt me. If he said your wages will consist of speckled animals, the whole flocks will start having speckled lambs and kids. But and if he said from now on your wages will be strict animals, the whole flock would have strict ones. Over and over, God used your father's livestock to reward me. Once, while the flocks were mating, I had a dream and saw the billy goats, all of them streaked, speckled, and mottled, mounting their mates. In the dreams, an angel of God called out to me, "Jacob." I said, "Yes." He said, "Watch closely. Notice that all the goats in the flock that are mating are streaked, speckled, and mottled. I know what Laban's been doing to you. I'm the God of Bethel, where you consecrated a pillar and made a vow to me. Now be on your way. Get out of this place. Go home to your birthplace." Rachel and Leah said, "Has he treated us any better? Aren't we treated worse than outsiders? All he wanted was the money he got from selling us, and he spent all that. Any wealth that God has seen fit to return to us from our father, is justly ours and our children's. Go ahead. Go ahead. Do what God told you." Jacob did it. He put his children and his wives on camels and gathered all his livestock and everything he had gotten, everything acquired in Padan Aram, to go back home to his father Isaac in the land of Canaan. Laban was off, shearing sheep. Rachel stole her father's household gods, and Jacob had concealed his plans so well that Laban the Aramean had no idea what was going on. He was totally in the dark. Jacob got away with everything he had and was soon across the Euphrates, headed for the hill country of Gilead. That's the end of today's live stream. Thank you for stopping by.